CupHead is an extraordinary title that can be praised for its charming art style, hardcore gameplay, or its painstakingly long design process. But that's not all. Here are 5 things you may not know about CupHead. Number 1. CupHead was originally planned as an 8-boss game. Similar to Mega Man, early concepts of CupHead would invoke slaying a boss and playing through a stage. At this point, the devs weren't entirely sure how big of a fanbase the game could really expect. Initially, this led to the earliest game builds being changed several times over until the general idea for the game was established. Positive public reception helped shape the title into the boss-killing frenzy we know it as today. Number 2. The earliest known concept of CupHead was established as early as 2002. But the tools available at the time couldn't yield a good enough product. Over time, the company acquired better tools, but this process of work still involved hand painting the cells. Eventually, Photoshop was able to produce the style they needed in less time. Even with creating the art digitally, the game wasn't turning out as directed and was scrapped. The CupHead project was completely abandoned until 2010. With smaller studios finding success with titles such as Super Meat Boy, Studio MDHR was reinvigorated with the drive to re-establish work on their beloved mug-shaped hero. Abandoning digital art direction, MDHR embarked on a difficult process of hand-drawing each character frame by frame, sketching a unique animation for attacking, receiving damage, idling, being introduced, and even being destroyed. The game was announced publicly at E3 2014, with a release slated for 2015. Within this time span, the game underwent several changes though, being delayed multiple times till the eventual 2017 release. Number 3. The run and gun missions are optional. Every world in CupHead has a couple levels that are side-scrolling segments that give the players chance to acquire coins. These coins can then be used to shop and buy attacks or charms that grant special abilities. These segments, however, are completely optional. The player can complete the game without ever being forced to play through them. These run and gun levels act as a minigame to add extra gameplay variety and a reason to actively play through them in order to use the game's shop. When it comes to story progression though, you are only tasked to defeat every boss in a world before being able to move on. Number 4 and 5. Playing 2-player alters the gameplay in a pretty interesting way. You would figure having 2 players would simply make the game easier and less challenging, right? Well, CupHead just turned your glass upside down. Having the extra player increases all enemy health by double the normal value. Something important to keep in mind, however, is that once your teammate dies, the game reverts to single-player mode, so all additional boss health value will revert back to how it normally is when you're playing alone. So if you were ever wondering, wait, why is the game seem easier when your teammate dies? Because technically, it is easier. The bosses now have less health, all the enemies around you will have less health in the run and gun missions. To add to the already chaotic bullet hell gameplay is the additional players' bullets and supers going on. This also can alter the boss's attacks to randomly go for either player, making the dodging even harder and less predictable. To balance out this extra difficulty of having 2 players, you can infinitely revive each other from death, as long as you're able to parry each other's ghosts. Now this can be really helpful for a 2-person team of people that maybe aren't so good because you can continuously keep each other alive as long as you're aware of the other person's dying. Not to mention, playing with 2 people is always the most fun. Thank you for watching the video, my ceramic friends. Please do like and sub to the channel if you enjoyed watching. This is Demon Fox Yoko, signing out.